If you're like me, you're probably extremely excited about the upcoming DLC for Disney Dreamlight Valley called Wishblossom Ranch. And if you are looking for a video to share everything you can expect and what we know so far for this upcoming DLC, then stay tuned because I've got you covered. Now, if you haven't heard, Wishblossom Ranch is dropping on November 19th of 2025. That's this year currently. And the backstory to the whole DLC is basically that during the Forgetting, Corella took control of Wishblossom Ranch, which used to be a cozy relaxation destination, but unfortunately she let everything fall apart and something called wish magic grew completely out of control. Now that's where we come in. We're tasked with uncovering the story behind Wishblossom, trying to figure out what happened during this event. We're going to be restoring the ranch and also finding all of the lost horses, and I'm assuming plenty more. Now, one of the most exciting things we've heard so far is that the full DLC is going to be released at launch. This means that we are going to be able to play through all of the content if we want to on day one. Now, if you're familiar with playing through any of the other DLCs that have come to Disney Dreamlight Valley on day one, then you'll know that when the DLCs was launched, there was a delay in between parts. So they would section it off by like chapters, I guess you could call it. And we'd have to wait months for the next chapter of the DLC. And that's when you can complete the full storyline. So for me personally, I am very, very excited to just have all of the content on day one. I've always felt like that's how it should be. So I'm very excited that they've made this change. Now let's start off with some of the basics and what we can expect when it comes to the map and the different biomes that we have in this DLC. We have 3 biomes, which usually are pretty massive considering they look similar to the map of our original Dreamlight Valley. So these areas are usually pretty big when it comes to the DLCs. These 3 biomes include the Wishing Alps, which is farmland and snowy mountain peaks kind of vibes. Then you have Glamour Gulch, which is a sinister vibe. That's where Corella DeVille lives, I believe. And then we also have Pixie Acres, which is overgrown pixie village, an absolutely stunning new biome that we can look forward to. Now, in addition to these 3 areas, there is also another area called the Crystal Caverns, which seems to be an underground cavern and maybe some tunnels that are 1, absolutely stunning visually, but 2, lead into an area that's called the Wishblossom Heart. Now, this heart is essentially one of the things that we're going to have to restore because it looks like the magic has been drained from it, and we're going to need to figure out why. Now, in addition to that, they did describe Wishblossom Heart as a hub, which is similar to the trials that we've experienced in Storybook Vale. So if you have that DLC, then you'll be familiar. I'm assuming maybe the trials part comes in with how we get to the cavern area, or maybe how we visit Wishblossom Heart, but I guess we're going to just have to wait to find out. Now, of course, with the wonderful new maps, we also get new companions, which is always one of the things that excites me so much. Now, the companions are absolutely chef's kiss. Literally, they're perfect. Now, the 3 new companions that you can expect are geese, which are located in the Wishing Alps. We also got a sneak peek at the colorways that come for the geese. We're going to get a white, yellow, blue, and black version, all of which I think look absolutely amazing if you ask me. We also have skunks. Now, the skunks can be found in Glamour Gulch. And then we have bumblebees, which we're going to be able to collect, and they are going to be located inside of Pixie Acres. Now, I want to know all of the different colorways that we get for all of the critters, but we only have what we saw for the geese, unfortunately, so we're gonna have to wait to find out what other colors we're gonna get in the new companions. Comment below and tell me which one of these companions are you most looking forward to. I honestly can't decide. I'm between the skunk, which just has the cutest little face, and also the bumblebees, which also has the cutest little face. But let me know, which one are you most looking forward to? Now, of course, this new expansion doesn't stop with new companions. We also get all new villagers. And I have to say, the list is actually quite big for a DLC. For some reason, I feel like we're getting more villagers than usual in this DLC, but I'm assuming that's because of the horses, which we'll get into. But to start, we have Snow White, Tigger, Corella DeVille, and also Tinkerbell. I think this lineup is absolutely amazing, not to mention Tigger is basically suggesting that eventually one day we'll likely get Pooh and other Winnie the Pooh related characters, so that is just a huge win for us, I think, in my opinion personally. I think my most favorite though is probably going to be Tinkerbell. She looks absolutely stunning. She's a perfect size. She looks beautiful, and I'm just so very excited to be hanging out with her. One thing that I thought was interesting is I hear that Tinkerbell is going to be able to fly around with you while you're on your horse. I don't think you have to be hanging out with her. It's kind of suggested that like one of her animations is that maybe you're running on your horse and she just kind of joins you. I read this somewhere. I think it was in a blog post somewhere, but just throwing that out there that that's apparently a thing as well. Now, in addition to the 4 traditional villagers that we'll see, we also have 3 new horse villagers that are coming to the game, one of which is Maximus. we have Khan, and then we also have a Pegasus, which my mind was blown about that one. Like, not expecting a Pegasus or a flying mount at all in the game. So kudos to DDV for that. Now we're going to do a deep dive into what we can expect with horses in just a minute, but I do want to talk about the 3 new abilities that we can expect with these horses. With Maximus, you're going to get the ability to do a long jump. With Khan, they have the ability to kick down blockers or maybe anything that's in your way. And then we have the Pegasus, which can glide and fly through wind tunnels. Now, we don't have any additional information about these wind tunnels specifically, but we did see a little clip in the trailer where you're flying through the sky. And at first I just thought that that was like dramatic effects just to kind of, get us excited about the DLC. But it turns out that these wind tunnels are likely going to be something similar to what we can see here, which is extremely exciting. I just cannot get over this aspect of the DLC. I love that each of these 3 villager horses come with their own special abilities, but I also love that they come with their own photo mode poses as well. So I'm assuming this is going to act like how it would with any villager. We'll hopefully be able to remove the horse from the picture and then just use the pose individually, or of course pose with your horse friend in the game. So that's very, very exciting. Now, in addition to all of that, we can also expect the ability to level up our horses similar to how we level up villagers. And as we level them, it will unlock unique rewards, probably some cosmetic things. Now, if you're wondering how to level up our horses, it's basically going to be through that bonding mechanic that I mentioned. So you're going to have 4 different things that you can do, which include petting, feeding, riding, and brushing your horse. All of these things will help to improve your relationship, thus helping you to level them up. Now, I also saw in the trailer that there are stars over the horse's head when you're doing little things like removing night thorns or maybe gardening or doing the other activities that we can do on horses. More on that in a minute. I'm assuming that will also level up your relationship, maybe not as fast as some of the other activities, but it definitely seems to add some type of friendship boost. So that's also something we can look forward to. Also, we'll progress through the storyline and we'll unlock some more unique abilities. So I'm wondering if the horses are going to have more than one unique ability or if it's just to unlock the main unique ability. But that leads me to the point of like questing with these horses. We're going to have to move through the storyline to find each one of them, and then we'll use their special abilities to get even further in the storyline. So for example, we may not be able to access a specific area until we get Khan, who can kick down the blockade that's blocking the area, so on and so forth. I really love this gameplay mechanic. I think it's going to make questing really fun. It's going to drive people to make sure they get their quest done so that they can unlock all of these cool horses. And I'm just really looking forward to it personally. Now, since we're already on the topic of horses in general, the fun does not stop there. As many of you probably know, we are also going to get one unique horse that we can actually fully customize and make our own. Now, the key detail there is that technically we get 1 horse, but we're getting 4 presets. This means that you can customize 4 different horses essentially. And when you save the presets, you can add them to the stall like you see here. And all of your horses will like live in this stall. And then you can interact with each one to decide if you want to like edit them or maybe take them for a ride. Now, the most exciting thing about your own personal horses, how detailed the customization actually is. You can not only change the eyes, hair, fur, and patterns, color, accessories, gallop effects, like you name it, you can create the horse of your dreams in this game, but you also have the ability to name your horse as well, which I think is a very nice touch. I am so looking forward to making a unique horse that's gonna match with my outfit and the vibe. And I'm just gonna have the most beautiful horses available. And if you're someone that was hoping to be able to make a unicorn, you're in luck, because it does look like we're going to be able to add some type of headpiece that has a unicorn horn. And that was definitely something that I was screaming, crying, and throwing up about. So if you're like me, I'm sure you were as well. Another thing I love about having the 4 presets and the horses showing up in a stall is the ability for us to now make like a real ranching area. Like you can have your little horse stall with all of your 4 horses in them, and then you can have maybe a companion house with the new critters, like the ducks kind of roaming, I'm sorry, not the ducks, the geese, roaming around the world and living their best life. It is going to be the cutest thing ever. Not to mention, if you were someone who purchased Owl's Barn or Owl's Toy Barn or whatever it is from the premium shop, then you're really in luck, because you're really gonna be able to make a ranch or a farm of your dreams. Now, it doesn't stop there. We have more information on horses, which includes that all of the horses can be used throughout all of the DLCs and in your main valley. I know that was like a common question. People were wondering if we'll be able to run around our horses in our main valley? The answer to that is yes. We'll also be able to use them in the DLCs. They have 3 running speeds. We have walking, trotting, and then galloping. Now, when you're galloping, it looks like that's the only time that you can actually like jump over fences and things like that when you're moving around your valley. So be mindful, like if you're trotting or walking, I don't think your horse will automatically jump. I think they have to be galloping at that speed. Now, the good thing about these speeds too is that the galloping speed is faster than your normal glider. So for me, that's even more exciting because I like to move fast. And this is essentially going to allow us to move faster than usual. So very, very excited about that. Now, of course, we have to save one of the best for last. Your horses can also perform many of the tasks that you do on foot. Now, I can't find in the showcase whether they confirmed it's all of the activities such as like fishing, but they did mention while you're riding your horse, you'll be able to mine, remove dead wish blossoms, remove night thorns, dig holes, water, and plant crops. And I just have to put an emphasis on watering the crops. Look how fast you're just, as you're walking, your horse will just water the crops. It's not like this stop, water, like it's just one smooth motion, that is a win for us. That is a win for us. And it's especially a win for those of you who may not have the Eternity Isle DLC and have those ancient machines that will help you garden. This is like the next best thing, I think. Now, while we're talking about gardening and all of that stuff, let's get into the collections menu because there's going to be a ton of things. I'm going to go ahead and claim that because as someone who has bought both the DLCs and played through them, I know for a fact it always comes with a ton of new ingredients, furniture, just like tons of new things. So let's talk about what all those things would be or what you could essentially be looking forward to. Number 1, we're getting new seeds and ingredients, of course. These are going to be new harvestables that we can collect as we garden. Now, one thing is that we don't know what those are. We have seen little tidbits in the showcase, but I'll put up this little picture on the screen. They did show their inventory, but you can see they actually blurred out what the seeds are. So we don't have any official details, but you can expect new seeds and ingredients. Now, of course, with new ingredients means that we're going to get a slew of new recipes, some of which seem to be recipes that we're going to be feeding to our horse as well to bond with them. Of course, we're going to get all new gems. There's going to be a ton of foraging. Of course, there will be different things that we can forage for crafting materials and also collecting flowers. Some of these new forageables we were able to see, or I was able to kind of assume from the showcase. So I guess you can consider this speculation, but for example, when they showed off the little bumblebee companion, you could see these hives on the ground. I'm assuming that's something that we'll likely use maybe our pickaxe on or something like that in order to get different resource from them. Also in Glamour Gulch, there was like, there's like a bush or a tree or something that had what looked to be some type of fabric item in it. So like non-traditional harvestables as well. It seems like we might be getting, again, cannot confirm obviously because they didn't show that, but definitely some new harvestables, of course. We can likely expect at least 3 new flowers. I know that Eternity Isle, I think, came with 4 new flower types. Storybook Vale came with 3 flower types, so I would assume we can get at least 3 new flowers, some of which we've seen kind of throughout the trailer. We don't know exactly how many we're going to get, but of course, new flowers as well. Now, this is where the list starts to get a little bit more interesting. We have dead wish blossoms, which are those little spiny, like they look like dead bushes with no, leaves on them. Essentially, those are going to be the new night thorns. So again, if you're familiar with Eternity Isle and Storybook, in Eternity Isle, we had the Splinters of Fate, and in Storybook, we had Inkies, which still to this day are my least favorite name for any type of night thorn like substance in the valley. That we're going to get a lot of new furniture, new paving, new fencing, all of that, you name it. I'm going to have stuff up on the screen, but there's sneak peeks at some of this stuff. But I feel like even that, as exciting as it is, like this little paving, I don't know, it's like a new rock path, looks absolutely stunning. That's nothing compared to the mention of modular building kits and blueprints. This is one of the highlights of the showcase for me. Now, modular building kits, I don't feel like are completely new to Dreamlight Valley, but it is something that they've been testing a bit with. I think the most recent and the one that most people are familiar with is the River Island kit that came in the premium shop. That was during the Peter Pan update, I believe. But yeah, that River Island kit was kind of a first look at what it's going to be like using modular building pieces in the game. It's one of the best items we personally, in my opinion, have in the game. It's absolutely amazing. Allows you to terraform with water, essentially. And now we're going to see that a lot more often with Storybook Vale because it looks like these modular building pieces are going to be seamless and customizable enough for us to make buildings and even small towns. Now, according to them, the modular building kits are pieces that we find in different biomes, and then they can eventually be purchased from Scrooge. However, some of the pieces require blueprints. These are the images that were on screen, and these are the 3 different types of, I'm assuming, modular building pieces or kits or aesthetics of those kits that we can expect coming in Wishblossom Ranch. And I'm really excited to see more about Pixie Acres kind of modular kit and what that's going to look like. It definitely feels very cottagecore, fantasy, flower kind of aesthetic. So again, all 3 of these I think are going to be super useful, and for people who love decorating, this is probably a must-buy DLC for you because you have to have these modular building pieces for your game. It completely changes the way that we can decorate. I'm always saying completely changes, but I really do feel like these modular building kits is a step into a new form of decorating. Being able to build a town is insane. Now, things do get a little confusing when it comes to blueprints. So I'm going to try to explain this in the way that I understand it, but if you guys understand it differently, then please feel free to share your own insight in the comments. But blueprints are described as a new form of crafting that does not require a crafting table. You can repair buildings where you find them. So we'll find like deconstructed or maybe run down building pieces that we have to restore using these blueprints. And then you will also use resources and pixie dust. Now, pixie dust was a very interesting mention. I'm assuming, and this is just speculation again, I cannot confirm, but I'm leaning towards the fact that pixie dust is the new currency that we have in this DLC. So again, if you're familiar with the DLCs, to compare it to something, pixie dust could be the equivalent of mist and also storybook magic. So essentially you'd be completing the new duties or different things that you have to do around Wishblossom Ranch in order to collect pixie dust. And then you'd use that to restore these items. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I'm not sure, but I also heard them mention that Tinkerbell will also help you to collect, or maybe she will provide pixie dust. It's a little confusing. They didn't really go into detail, but that's just what I'm assuming. I'm really looking forward to seeing if anybody thinks the same way as me, or if maybe it's something different. Now, not only do they help to repair the buildings, but apparently they will be used to, finish off some of these modular building kit pieces as well. Either way, both of these 2 new features are very, very exciting, and I think they're going to add a unique twist to kind of like the traditional gameplay that we've seen in Disney Dreamlight Valley. Now, last but not least in the collections menu, clothing. Now, they say in the showcase, we're going to get lots of new clothing items in Scrooge's shop. I'm just saying, I don't know if I believe them. They've said that before. We're gonna have to see. I will say Storybook Vale showed right on out with new furniture, some new clothing, but they are specifying that there is a lot of new clothing coming to the game with this DLC. So I'm very much looking forward to it, even though the clips that they showed wasn't very enticing. That's all I'll say about that. But I want to see Scrooge's shop stocked for a week, at least, with new clothing items, new everything. Give us new hair, new clothes, new nails, new. I want all the new stuff, okay? Speaking of Scrooge's shop, one little thing that I think some people might have missed, this little detail, is that they show Remy's restaurant and also Scrooge's shop in Wishblossom Ranch. However, they have the Storybook Vale skins on them, which is a very interesting little sneak peek. I'm assuming, speculation, can't confirm nor deny, seems like we're going to be able to replace the shop skins now with skins from other DLCs and probably our main valley, which is something, if it is true, I will be absolutely ecstatic, because I've been waiting for the ability to kind of adjust what the shops look like depending on where I'm placing them in my valleys. So being able to edit their aesthetic is super cool. Now let's talk about purchasing the DLC. This goes for people who have already purchased Disney Dreamlight Valley. If you haven't purchased Disney Dreamlight Valley, then they have a bunch of different like bundle options, but we're going to talk about the 2 different versions for people who already own the game. So to start, we have the basic version that comes with just the DLC. It'll also come with 5,000 moonstones. Now, I am hoping and assuming they're going to stick to their normal price point of $30 US. I cannot see them increasing that price. I feel like that would upset a lot of people. I myself would be upset. I think that if you set a price for your DLCs to be like the base part of the DLC to be a certain price, then it should remain that same price as time goes on. Now, in addition to the basic version, you have the deluxe version, which comes not only with the DLC, but 10,000 moonstones, 2 equestrian outfits, a house skin, and Finn, which is the most exciting. I don't know a lot of people that's not buying the deluxe version, okay? Everybody wants Finn. I want Finn, you want Finn, we want Finn. Now they also take it a step further because Finn is not just a cosmetic, he's a rideable mount. And he's going to come with 4 themed items for your other mounts as well. So Sven could wear these themed items or your other mounts could wear them. And Sven comes with a dream style, which is a very specific note that I'd like to make note of. Because if Sven gets a dream style, then I have to assume that Maximus, Khan, and also the Pegasus could also have their own individual dream styles and any other new trusty steeds that come to the game. I love the idea of dream styles for these mounts. I think that's really, really cool, especially if they're themed around holidays like Halloween and Christmas. So that would be really cool to see. Now, another thing I want everyone to know is that early purchasers, meaning anybody who purchased the game on November 19th, 2025 through December 3rd of 2025, will get an exclusive outfit for your avatar, and then also a matching outfit for your horse companion. So if you're considering purchasing the game, I highly recommend you do it between November 19th and December 3rd. So there you have it. That's a roundup of everything we can expect with Wishblossom Ranch. And if you are someone who is currently prepping and trying to get your valley in order and together for this new DLC that's coming, highly recommend you check out the video that's going to be on your screen right now. It's a new storage video updated for 2025. Got some great tips for you to get organized. Check out one of the videos that's on the screen. I hope you enjoy. Consider subscribing if you've enjoyed the video. And until next time, I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.